Welcome to the Successful Athletes podcast presented by TrainerRoad, where we interview successful athletes to make you a faster cyclist. And today we are joined by Egert Purre from Estonia, and I probably butchered that name. I apologize, Egert. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. So you are a current age group national time trial champion in Estonia, and we are going to dig into all things time trialing today, the details of what you did for equipment, for pacing, for nutrition, for position, all that stuff. It's going to be a ton of fun. Pacing, because your course was super abnormal too for what a lot of people think of when they think of a time trial. So we're going to get into all the details. But first things first, can you explain your current situation in terms of what you do for work and your family situation?
I work as an equities trader, so I usually work like East Coast US hours, and I'm married with a 1-year-old daughter.
Oh, awesome. Congratulations. You don't sleep very much then, I bet.
Not too much. It's like it's getting it used to be a little bit better because the kids' sleeping patterns were more in sync with us. Now it's been a bit rougher lately. So there was a time when she woke up like 6 a.m. and but it's better again now. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, it ebbs and flows. When it's great, you never know how long it'll last. So you just cherish it while it lasts.
Yeah, that's true. Luckily for us, she like sleeps through the whole night, which I hear is not like really common.
Sure. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's a good thing to have. So let's get into your athletic background. You were a runner. And then you also went into triathlon and then somehow ended up at time trialing. So can you explain how that all worked out in your athletic background?
Yeah, sure. I wouldn't really call myself a runner. I just used to run for a few years, then screwed up by marathon by being not adapted to the heat at all. Later, learning all that through your podcasts. But then I was like kind of not feeling like running anymore, so things took a natural turn. I just couldn't sit still. I went out and bought a road bike. Spent the summer riding around with it, wearing all the flappy jerseys and everything you can imagine, like hairs on legs, like more than you can probably imagine. And then I started thinking about maybe learning how to swim as well. Because during our mid-school we had compulsory swimming classes, which I skipped each and every last one of them, of course. And I can't believe how much I regret that. But and I signed up for a triathlon coach and a triathlon club and started picking things up. Spent first winter, summer training with him. Getting like acquainted to the sport. Then in last year I thought of running again, maybe like kind of undoing the damage I conducted on myself with a bad marathon and maybe see if I can make things right and spend some time doing running training only for like a little over 2 months, like 2.5 months, maybe 3. Wow. End of 2019 ran my PB in marathon and then thought about like I haven't been sitting on a bike for like 3 months now, like maybe I should pick things up again. And given the fact that I prescribed my own run training and I was semi-successful at it, I was quite successful at it because I like achieved everything I wanted to achieve. And sure. Then I was already listening to your podcasts for a month or two and thought about I used to use a different training program, so to speak, the ones to have like little guys riding around. And
we'll leave it at that. That's good. Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. Yeah. And then I signed up for TrainerRoad. I remember having my FTP from that spring, which was like 255 or something. I thought like, man, I was like riding bikes a lot in the summer, so maybe I'll just bump it up another 10 watts. Picked a quite hard workout for my first one, literally died on the trainer. Thought that, okay, egos aside, time to take an FTP test. And I got it at, I don't know, what was it, like 237. And I managed to build it up all the way to 324 in the middle of or in early August. So it's but yeah, it's like it seems like a lot, and I was quite sad that I missed improving my 100 watts mark, but still I was like I think I had like some connections in place in the body which allowed it to come up faster. So yeah, it's yeah, the highest I've ever seen was like 329, and I spent the whole summer basically at the same range, anywhere between 320 to 330.
Awesome. That's super impressive. So with this, you also, I want to cover the running a bit, because with running, you know, your PR for the half is 122 and then 255 for the full.
Yeah.
And then you've also done a half Ironman or half distance race as well. So you have like this experience in doing longer endurance events. So what brought you to time trialing? Because in many cases, time trialing is actually not particularly like endurance focused, because it tends to be somewhere around 40 kilometers, somewhere around an hour, which is in cycling terms at least, and definitely a multi-sport as well, considered a short event. In running, considered endurance, but in cycling, in triathlon, it can be considered short. So, so why time trialing?
We have even like shorter ones here. The region I'm at, it's like anywhere between 14 to like 23 kilometers. So that's, I don't know, it's less than 10 miles up to, I don't know, was it like 15 miles?
Yeah.
And we have some longer time trials in the southern part, but I have never participated on those. But the time trialing is like, I started riding them in a way to assess my fitness on the bike and assess the position I'm in, and how far, like how fast do I actually move with a certain power I'm pushing out. So it's been more of a learning process, and I participated in 4 time trials this spring, got better in each one of them. So I thought that like maybe I should like give it a try when the nationals come around. I did one more time trial in like a week before the nationals, which is like they call it a test time trial basically, but it's like a very different course. It's like there's no out and back turns. There's like just 3 right turns and you like complete the circle. It's like super fast course, and I managed to ride a pretty decent time. I think I got like top 10 there against a very heavy competition. It was like 2 pro cyclists or 3 even, and then I thought like, okay, I really need to take part in the nationals. So,
so that's what led to it. So that you had nearly a 100 watt increase, so close. That's your goal for next year, is to get to the 100 mark.
I think I'm already there, given the last training for the last few weeks, but I haven't tested it.
Oh, sweet. Exciting. So a nearly 100 watt increase. Let's get into how you trained in particular. So which plans did you follow with TrainerRoad? And I assume you used Plan Builder to lay things out as well.
Yeah, not at first, because I don't think Plan Builder was around back then when I started. It's like really recent. But I started out with triathlon, mid-distance triathlon based low volume. And I worked with a swim coach at that time, so I just did one session with her, and then one whatever workout session fit to my schedule on the plan, and then I prescribed my own run training, because seeing what I'm capable of and what I need to do in running, because I have a really decent sense of how to run or how to train my running. Then I used a race where there was a run workout prescribed, but I did my own training, and then like most of the time I was like pretty low intensity because of the fact that I got all the intensity of the bike. But then I did mid-distance triathlon base, mid-distance triathlon build. I think then I went back to base, and then I did a mid-volume build. And from there on, I was already able to use the Plan Builder, so I just built it up all the way to that September, which was my A race for the season for the local 70.3.
Now, you mentioned that when you first started out, you were just like, well, I'll just start off at whatever I think my FTP is, and you had a really tough workout, and then you reassessed, and then you went from there. I want to talk about.
I never recommend anyone do that.
Yeah, it's always worth it to test, right? Like your ego may take a temporary hit, but then after that, every workout thereafter is an ego boost because it's going to be calibrated to your intensity.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I want to talk about the other hard things, the things that were difficult in the training process that you found when you were going through this. So whether that was interruptions from work, whether that was not fueling enough, whether that was managing heat and cold or anything like that, what was difficult for you? What kind of stumbling blocks did you hit when you were first trying to knock out a structured plan like this?
So I would say that the nutrition was playing a big part because I kind of dabbled into the keto territory. Figured out that it was like basically basically torturing yourself for no real reason. Came back to loving my carbs again and nailing the workouts again. The thing that was also hard was the indoor stuff. I mean, the fact I might be weird in a sense that I actually like TrainerRoad for the fact because there's like nothing else and you can just see your 6 numbers and you can listen to some music. I don't watch movies while training or anything like that. I'm just trying to stay focused. And sometimes it gets hard as well. It's like sometimes you want to blast out something, you want to watch a video or whatever, but it's like, and then the heat part, of course, it gets really hot in a small room. So, I think it's like this spring I finally managed to purchase myself a decent fan because I just couldn't make myself to shell out a few €100 for a normal fan, but I thank every moment that I did. So I just had those the ones you can buy at the general store, the little flaps flying around. That's like they don't really cool you down.
No, they don't. You need a lot of air moving over you.
Yeah, that's true. And all the windows open, everything.
Yeah. So what's the training through the spring and summer? What's the weather like in Estonia when you're training indoors? Like, is it pretty hot?
It gets hot in the summer, yeah, and it gets like quite humid in the summer as well. So it's and I managed to do some outside rides as well, and just if there was like a tempo ride or just an endurance ride, I was always opting to do that outside just to get outside and just to practice my position on the DT bike as well because it's like so different than you're used to. And I got a new bike fit this spring, so I had to actually test it outside. And I even did some when you guys published the outside workouts, then they were like really helpful as well. But I figured out like I could only decently do like some short VO2 stuff and maybe some shorter over/under intervals on uninterrupted roads because other than that you might be. I mean, there's a traffic light, there's a car running or like anything like that. So just I spent I think in the summer I did like half my training still indoors. Yeah, it's always fun to people are riding outside and you can post a picture to the Instagram saying it's a lovely weather, they've been riding indoors. So yeah, that's just to get the quality in. You can always go outdoors.
The balance is super important for people to find, and they may be able to find all the satisfaction that they need with just indoor or something else like that. But in particular with time trialing, and I want to kind of focus now on what you did for your equipment and your position. In particular with time trialing, it's really important to get used to that. So then come race day, it's not a complete shock to the system riding outside in that position. So how did you figure out your time trial position? Was this like working with a fitter or did you self-fit, and how did you optimize it?
Well, it was pretty robust. I went to the bike fit and the position was optimized for triathlon. So and I prefer to ride with high hands because it's just way more comfortable for me. And then I think I haven't tested it anywhere, but as far as I know, it should be a little bit more aerodynamic. And of course the hip angle to keep it open because you have to run afterwards. For luckily I had a UCI legal bike, but the thing is that my position was so far out of the UCI rules that I had to actually a week before I borrowed a friend's bike, which was set as an UCI legal. I tried riding it outside, like felt super weird. but I think I got a knack for it, and I thought like maybe I can handle that and maybe put out some decent power in there. But then we spoke with the race organizers and asked that if we want to ride the same bike, like we have as long as like half an hour or a little bit more time slot between our starts. So I would go first and I'll be back, and then he can take his bike, because there was already a problem of he not being able to use his bike for a warm-up process. But things came down to the fact that they could only give us like 27 minutes, and I looked at the course and I was like, no, I'm not that fast. Then I went back to the shed and brought out some tools, and I tried to adjust my bike to be in a UCI legal position. Luckily, there was before the race, you had a possibility to like check your bike there. Mine fit in there, so it was like a bit of a relief. But yeah, and I think I took one ride with it outside still, just to get a feeling of the UCI legal hands, because like if you're accustomed to the high hands position on a TT bike, it feels super weird to have our hands so low. On the other hand, you can keep your head a little bit lower, because then your head is not tucked behind it, but your head can like drop.
Turtle down.
Yeah, turtle it down, yeah. And then luckily we had sunshine on the race day, so it's like constantly reminding myself to push my head down and checking out the shadow from the corner of my eye and see how the tail of my helmet was going through my back. So
that's smart. So,
yeah, that's like there's no other way to see that. So that's the only option I had.
So you mentioned the low hands, comparing your triathlon position to your 40K position. Instead of having your hands up, and if you're watching on the podcast, you can see my hands are actually up. Instead of having your hands up, your hands are further down. But what other, and I assume that there are other changes to your fit too. How else, roughly, how else was your fit different from triathlon to the UCI legal position? What did you have to do?
One more thing was I had to push my saddle back quite a bit. And that closed down the hip angle. But after taking a ride outside, it was like, all right, you don't have to run, chill with the hips. And you can, it's like 20, I don't remember, I think it was like 22 or 23 Ks. And less than half an hour, you can survive it. It's like, it wasn't nice, but it's like, you can like mentally put yourself there, so you can survive having your hips closed and having a little bit of less air in your lungs and so forth. But
yeah, so did you train? Were you able to train at all in this position, or was all your training done in your tri position and then you just raced on the UCI legal position?
Yeah, and I didn't train. I did one ride outside in the UCI position and then one ride with another bike which was UCI positioned. But other than that, yeah, I just thought that like, yeah, maybe you should like push a little bit more on the day, so you overcome with the fact that it's like really uncomfortable. But it wasn't like that uncomfortable. It's like there were like marginal differences, but it's still the hands and the saddle was definitely, you felt it.
Yeah. Did you notice a difference in your ability to put out power? Did it drop when you went into the UCI legal position?
Not that I recognized it. I mean, it's probably a bit because that time trial I did a week before nationals, I used to ride my triathlon position, and I think I put out like 7 or 8 more watts normalized. So, but I think is that it could be explained with course dynamics. Because I mean, it's easier to push out steady high power when you don't have to turn them out, and so you don't have to re-accelerate or brake or think about corners. So it's I mean, you can't compare it. It's like apples to oranges. So
sure, right. What about your helmet and your skin suit? And then we can go into all the other details too. What sort of helmet did you have?
I have the Giro Arrowhead.
Oh yeah, that's a fast one.
Yeah, well, and looking myself from this side, I think it looks pretty good, because there's like no space between the back of my head and my back, so it should be okay. My skin suit is made by a company called BioRacer. It's we had our tri club ordered a bunch of skin suits for the guys or girls who wanted to participate in TTs. So
cool.
it's a really nice suit. So
Yeah, those things are fast. The BioRacer ones are really fast. They're known to be really quick. Did you have to do any sort of like alterations? And how does your suit fit? Because that's maybe a thing that a lot of people misunderstand, is that it's not like it's a comfortable thing to be in at any time, right?
It's a very uncomfortable thing to be in. I remember watching, it's like, I don't know, who was the bald guy who was like a really good time trialist? You had a movie about him.
Yeah, Justin Rossi. Yeah,
Justin Rossi, exactly. And he was like, there was a podcast episode where he explained that perfect skin suit fit is the one where you can't stand up.
Yep.
And I borrowed a bunch of sizes, and the funny thing is that the guy who imports BioRacer to Estonia lives like 200 meters from me. So
oh wow,
from the same
nice.
same part of town. So I went to his place and I got like 2 skin suits to try on, and the large was already like pretty tight. And then I got down to medium, and it's like, okay, this is like super uncomfortable, but it's like talking in front of the mirror. I can't see very many parts where the fabric is wrinkling. So okay, that's a lot better. And you shouldn't be able to stand up, because on the bike you're not standing up when you're time trialing. So
sure, yeah. So no need to do it.
No, afterwards, you just pull the zipper open and breathe.
Yeah, then you can breathe. Was it long sleeve or was it short sleeve, 3/4?
Long sleeve.
Long sleeve, okay. And did you make any adjustments to the suit at all?
No, it's like I don't think I really could have done it, because it's like it was a little bit tight from the legs, but once you get the legs moving and the blood flow there improves, and it's like you don't really notice it. So.
And then what about your number? How was that? Was that like, did your BioRacer suit have a pocket for the number, or did you pin it on? Did you glue it on?
I asked separately for the pocket to have been glued on there, so it's you don't have to pin anything.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, so you spend a lot of money on a really fast suit and have your number flapping. It's not making any sense.
Exactly. Yeah, it makes no sense. Did you use shoe covers or tall socks?
I had shoe covers, the Castelli ones.
Okay.
I don't know the exact model, but it's like you can like pull it really high, almost close to your knee. So it's they're really good ones as well.
Awesome.
They're super like brittle.
Yeah. Did they like tear easily, you mean?
Yeah, and it's like I have like few holes in it, but in the heel of my shoe, so it's. I think I can do one more year in those.
Yeah, for sure. Did you use gloves, or were you just open hands?
No, open hands. I have never ridden with gloves. The as far as I know, you should like maybe have them on a road race, because when you fall, so you don't really damage your palm. But no, I haven't really been wearing them in a time trial.
Awesome. Okay, so I guess the next question is, and we're going to get to the course soon here, but what about nutrition? I assume what was the length of the race for national championships, and did you take in any sort of nutrition while you were on the bike?
No, because it was like less than half an hour, or about half an hour. So that's you don't really eat. I had some bread, some Danish, and a Red Bull before I start. So, and I didn't really like eat anything for like 2 hours before, so it had like plenty of time to settle in. And the fact that like you're like pushing yourself to your absolute limit for half an hour, I mean, you don't really burn that much calories. So that like it's not like you have to be like super strict with the nutrition part there.
Sure.
But it's still like I had a comfortable breakfast and what I like for lunch, and then it's go time basically.
Sure. What did you fuel your training like when you were just training normally? You mentioned that you flirted with the keto thing and then realized that it was not helping performance, so you went back to loving carbs. But do you know how much you eat? Do you measure your food? Do you look at macros at all?
Yeah, I measure my food. I recently had the app called where you can jokingly My Fatness Pal, and I think I'm like a bit over 800 days in a row there. But
way to go!
But I haven't really counted my macros, because I feel like it puts like an unnecessary stress on you on your daily life.
Yeah.
So. But on the bike, I usually like I write usually down my food to Strava, because sometimes I scroll it myself and then it's like a training tire for me.
Sure.
And I butchered my nutrition on the 70.3 actually. So this year I've been super strict on what I eat on the bike while I'm training, and I try to do the thing where if you are on the bike, you should eat and measure what you eat. So and I think I can now at least put close to 100 grams of carbs in my body in an hour, and without feeling like dizzy or anything, and I feel it gets absorbed. But the year before, it's like usually like all kind of gas station food you can find, or banana when you're riding outside. So and then inside, I used to train my gut in a way that at getting on a bike on a turbo trainer, and then just like eat a piece of cake or something like that, just to get the stomach accustomed to the fact that you are eating while you're performing. So
Sure. That's a process rife with trial and error, but it can be super beneficial to have an iron gut. Another thing to consider with this too, this course, and the reason that the nutrition is so interesting to me is because your course was tough. Like technically speaking, it wasn't just a straight time trial or an out and back time trial or something like that. So even if you were planning to take in nutrition, which for a half-hour event wouldn't make sense, it would have been really tough. Can you explain the course for us?
I don't have the map with me, but it's like it started out with a really small climb up to the roundabout, and then you had a small part where you can accelerate, and then it was like hard right turn, and then after a while a hard left turn, and then it was like another few turns down to the tunnel, and it was not like a tunnel, but went under the bridge, and after that the road surface was like really bad, so it's like shaking there when you're trying to push yourself through it, and the roads got really narrow, and the out and back turn which was there was like on a really narrow part of the road, so you like almost had to come to a standstill, and there were like couple like I think it was like one turn that was way steeper than 90 degrees. So it's
wow.
And the road surface was bad there, and I think they even like wiped it off before because it had some loose gravel on there.
Wow.
And it like became dangerous in a sense, but luckily they cleared it out. But it's like still in the back of your head that I can't really have to really pay attention there.
So this is like far from a straightforward course. It sounds pretty technical, and three things come to mind that I want to talk about with this. Pacing, technical skills, and then on top of that, focus. And I want to start with focus, actually, and then we'll work our way backwards here.
Sure.
In the rough sections of road, a lot of time trialists report that it's difficult, and I understand this. It's difficult to focus on holding that pace when the road is rough, whether that's because you're having to swerve around things or even just a rough surface. It makes it feels so much easier to hold power when it's a perfectly smooth asphalt, but it's a lot tougher when you're having to do it on rough roads. How did you maintain focus, and did you find that difficult at all when the road would get rough to stay focused on the task at hand and not get frustrated?
Well, it wasn't like it was like few kilometers, which you had to tackle on your way out and on your way back. But the thing that gets to you the most is the fact that you feel like you're flying off the bike, because everything is shaking, and then you're like usually when I try to ride, I try to have my hands as loose as possible, just to have them like resting on the aero bars, but they're like you really have to hold your bars so your front wheel doesn't fly or swerve or anything like that. And it's and it actually you can motivate yourself to push out power with the fact that the more you push, the sooner it gets over. So,
Yes. Yeah, I like that. I prescribe to that too. That's one of the things that, like, whatever the race is, that, you know, if you can just push harder, it'll be over sooner. It helps you through it.
No one has time to stand on the course for too long. So
Right, yeah. Let's talk about technical ability. Time trial bikes do not handle well. You are in an unfamiliar position on your time trial bike, so then that's another layer of trickiness added to this. And then you have turns all over the place, obstacles with like potholes or rough roads, everything else.
Luckily, no potholes.
Oh, good. Luckily, no potholes then. How did you get good at bike handling? Because to win a national championship on a course like that, you have to be good at that. And I don't see, at least, or I don't know of like a background in mountain biking or criterium racing or something like that. So how'd you get good at it?
Like a typical triathlete, I'm really bad at bike handling. I work on it right now because going out on mountain bike rides, and I feel like it has improved a lot. It's like I try to I could experiment there on the course because like I had no expectations for myself, and I can like really try and see how and what works. And actually, like during the half an hour, I coasted for like 2.5 minutes. So it's nice. And I tried to write it in a way that like start resting before the turn comes, and then just pace yourself out of it. I mean, if like an experienced time trialist listens to it right now, it's like, dude. But it
was
like,
hard to do. That's
it was a new thing for me.
Yeah, you feel like as soon as you stop pedaling, in my mind, when I'm in a time trial, I think, oh, everybody else is still pedaling. What am I doing? And then soon as I come out of the turn, I'm like, oh, I need to accelerate and get back up to speed really quickly. So there's this temptation to just surge and then go back up. So pacing came into the bike handling side of things in that respect.
Yeah, well, I had to like push myself in a way that chill, dude. It's like you have to rest now. There's like 100 meters till you have to turn. So I mean, slow is smooth is fast, as you said. So and then you like come in with a lot less speed, and it's like way more easier to actually tackle the corner without you touching your brakes so much because. In addition to being really hard to handle, the time trial bikes usually are not really good at braking either because like, you're not supposed to brake, you're supposed to go fast.
Yeah.
I think I managed to figure it out finally on the last time trial on that year or this year, and then it's like thinking about the course a bit beforehand, trying to figure out. I also pre-wrote the course on my. On my bike, and then it's like you can really see where you can have some rest and then where you have to really push hard to get yourself back up to speed.
So with let's talk about the pacing side of things. How did you build a pacing plan for this race? That's super complex. If it's like a straightforward race, you can say, well, yeah, I'll try to stick to this power target. Did you have power targets, or were you just using like power as kind of like a ceiling to make sure you didn't push too hard? How did you pace?
I tried to have it as a ceiling actually because I didn't really know what my power will be, given the fact that there are like turns and accelerations, and where my Garmin had like I don't know, it was like 4 or 5 fields. It was like just 10-second power, normalized power, heart rate, and cadence because.
Nice.
You don't need to look at the time. You don't need to look at the distance. It's all like doesn't change, you know.
Yeah.
And I just kept an eye on having my cadence up really high because this winter I really learned to appreciate the fact that you can put out more power with higher cadence and not really cooking your muscles as much. Mm-hmm. So I tried to hold a high cadence at around 100 RPM and then see that my power really doesn't go like super high. So and I knew that coming out of the turns I had to get it a bit higher than I'm used to, but it's other than that it's like just try to get yourself up to speed and see where the power is and try to hold it, because I mean it gets hard nonetheless quite soon, and then it's just like battling with yourself in your head to adhere to the fact that you have to keep on pushing it. So and I mean of course it's like it made psychologically things easier for me. I knew that I can blow up. It's fine. Mm-hmm. It's like there's nothing on the line except for the fact that you can really like learn the process and learn something about yourself.
So you weren't putting too much pressure on yourself. Instead, you were just capping your power coming out of the turns to make sure you didn't go too hard coming out of them, and then you let yourself coast into the turns to get that kind of mini break. Did you notice that you were able to, like with those mini breaks, did they have an effect on your ability to perform? Because a lot of the time when you're going in a time trial and it's steady power, you think that a small break won't make a big difference. But I've noticed every time after a turnaround, it's like I have a few minutes of benefit just from that short
kind
of coasting time.
That. Yeah, definitely. It's like even like 10 seconds of coasting can help tremendously. It's just like the really small refresh to your muscles. It's sometimes it's all it takes to like, I mean, probably the physiological effect isn't as big, but the psychological one is. So you like feel super fresh actually, like just coming out of a 10-second or 20-second break even. It's like, okay, 20-second breaks are hard to come by, but
Sure.
10 seconds you can see.
Yeah, absolutely. So, did everything go to plan on race day? Like, and actually, we should probably start beforehand. You already mentioned how you ate and everything else, but how did you do your warm up going into it?
Well, I have a pretty standard warm-up protocol for myself. I start out with coasting. I slowly build my power up to my FTP or a bit above that. Then I coast some more, and I do like 2 or 3 hard 10-second sprints, like not all out, but like maybe like 90-95%, just to wake up the muscles. I heard that it's like a few other people use that similar protocol, and some pro teams use that as well. So then I tested out with different warm-ups earlier part of the year, and I figured like this is something that would really fit me. So
Awesome. So, did everything go to plan on race day, or did you have any moments where you got thrown a curveball and you had to adjust, or any unexpected things?
Unfortunately not. The only curveball I had was like because we asked as much time between me and the guy whose bike I was supposed to borrow. They put me on the first in line for all the age groupers. So it was like felt kind of nice to ride behind a motorcycle and everything, and
Yeah.
it's like felt a little bit like never been in that situation before, but luckily like she really forgot about it like a few minutes in.
Sure.
Then it just felt like a regular motorcycle riding up the road, and people staring at you everywhere. But
Nice. So I guess what time did you put in, and what was the power on that day?
I think my average was 331. My normalist was like 338, and I can't remember the time. It was like a little less than half an hour, and my average speed on that course was like 45 kilometers per hour. I don't really know how much that is in miles.
Yeah,
Like
I'm gonna do some
7, yeah,
somewhere
maybe.
around there. Yep, yeah, it's pretty
Should
close
be
to that. And how much did you weigh on race day, or do you roughly weigh?
Currently, I weigh 86 kilograms. I think it was about the same on that day as well. It's a bit on the heavier side, but it's I mean, on a flat time trial, doesn't really matter as much. Of course, you have to like a smaller hole in the wind would be more beneficial, but
Sure.
yeah, I don't really like think about that. I try to optimize it in a way that like train for performance, and eventually everything will follow. But
Yep. So that puts you roughly around 189 pounds roughly. And then for kilometers for the race, if you average somewhere around 46 kilometers an hour, you said?
45.
45. Yeah. So that puts you right there, just about 28 miles an hour, which is a fast pace to be able to hold, especially on a time trial with so many turns. That's a really tricky part about it, because the speed suffers every time you go into that turn. It ends up dropping.
Yeah, on the flat parts, or when you can really push, you like have to be like way over 50 kilometers per hour just to have that average. But
Wow.
the thing is, I don't really look at my speed in time trials, because I mean it is what it is. I can't. It's an output, not an input. So I tend to keep an eye on inputs and see what I can control. But maybe I should play around a bit with having to look at speed as well on a time trial. It feels like a foreign concept, but it's something that like an experienced time trialist might do, just to see where your speed is at and where you can rest a bit and where not. Because I mean, yeah, I think it's might be a little help, but then again, you might fixate on that and it can backfire. But I'm not sure until I try.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, because so I lean toward the first thing that you said, that I like to just keep an eye on power, and then I let the power work itself, and I let everything else come after the power But that is a good point that, if there's downhills or coasting or anything else like that, and you know that the average is, a 46 kilometer average, kilometers per hour average for the race, then, you can look at that and kind of do some math. But I also have a hard time doing math when I'm on the bike, when I'm in a race scenario. So I end up screwing it all up, and it's better if I just look at the power and I know what I should be holding and I stick to that. I'm simple.
Yeah, exactly. And you never know like how fast you have to go to actually win the race or be where you want to be. So it's like so day dependent. Sometimes the weather conditions can play a huge part when it's like really humid. So everyone is like a lot slower and so forth. So.
Yeah, and a good point, too, with you being first off the line, it's hard for you to necessarily know how fast you need to go. That's in speed can be helpful. But, yeah, exactly. The humidity, the temperature, the wind, the surface, everything else, that'll change it from day to day. So as a result,
exactly.
It's hard to be able to pin it down. So did you expect to win? You had some success earlier in the year in other ones, but this is a national championship, a totally different deal. You're riding a bike in a foreign position. It's super a cool story to me. But did you expect to win?
No, we had on the day when I looked at the start list. I mean, there are like no weak riders there. So like there were like two super strong guys. One was like basically ex-pro. One won the thing a year before. So and given from an earlier time trial series, I knew that I'm like way slower than these guys, and so I thought like they are probably gonna take up the first two spots, and there are like 5 more guys. I should like maybe I have a chance on a good day against them to be third. So. But well, yeah, as luck might have it, it's I managed to come up and there, and the times between me and the second and the third guy were like really small.
Yeah.
So it's like few seconds. So it's basically won a coin flip, I would say.
How cool. So now the answer to this could just be, I trained harder and I put out more power. But what made you uniquely successful? Was there anything other than basically just being more fit, having put in the work, and then executing well? Or did you think that there was something else that gave you more of an advantage on that day?
Well, I know the part that I did. I mean, I did ride a lot smarter than I might have ridden previously. But of course, I mean, I can't know everything. Maybe these guys were having a bad day, or maybe they had some issues, or so forth. I mean, it's like you can put out the perfect race, and someone stronger than you might have a small issue, and then you come out and up on that day. So I can't know the things outside of what I did, but I think like from my perspective, I think I pretty much nailed it down to a point. So.
Yeah, well done. It's cool to see a triathlete up on the podium for a time trial, a national championship like that. Proving the stereotypes wrong. But part of this too that I want to cover is, how has this affected you as a triathlete? I don't know if you even know that, because I don't know if you've had a chance to test it, but has a focus on time trialing made you a better triathlete, and has it made you a worse triathlete, and in which ways?
Well, I think it's definitely beneficial due to the fact that, I mean, if you have some confidence in riding time trials, you really don't have to worry about anything on the bike leg. So I mean, it's you know that you're like pretty decent there, and that's, other than that, it's like super beneficial, because I mean, time trial training and time trial or competing in time trials also gets you used to the fact that when you're racing, it's not as foreign to you, being in that position for a long time, and having to think about running afterwards. Well, and I think it's super beneficial to me in the fact as well that, like, I'm super bad swimmer, and it was like the best way to become a really good cyclist or really good in biking in triathlon is be bad at swimming, so you have some catching up to do.
No doubt. Okay, we're going to run through a handful of quick questions on your equipment here because I know I can already see on the TrainerRoad forum, because you can look up this episode here. It'll be episode 33, and you can just look up Egert's name, Egert, and you'll be able to find him on there. And I'm sure Egert will be present, so then you can ask any questions you'd have. But
sure.
With this said, I want to run through some. We already ran through your helmet and your skin suit, but what frame or what bike were you riding, and what size?
I was riding a BMC Time Machine on medium large, which is 54 inches, I think.
Okay.
Perfect. I sold that bike actually. I'm getting a new Scott Plasma just for triathlon. So.
Ooh, the new one that just came out.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like pre-ordering, so it's maybe see it sometimes in April, hopefully.
Yeah, who knows? What wheels did you run, and then what tires as well?
I used to have Aero Coach Titan front wheel, which is 100 millimeter steep, with a 23 millimeter Vittoria Corso speed tubeless tire, and in the back I had Aero Coach disc with a 25 millimeter Vittoria Corso speed tire. So and also tubeless because. From a triathlon perspective, it's I mean the tubulars might be a watt faster, but it's if you have a pinch there, it's game over basically.
Yeah.
And it's more easier to have tubeless stuff. You can still put some inner tubes in there if something happens. I mean, if something happens to you on a time trial, it's game over anyway. But as far as the testing data published by Aero Coach and the Vittoria Corso tubeless tires, they're like pretty close to the top speed-wise, and I figured like I can leave the half a watt to the table, just to have like comfortable tire that I can ride on, and something that will last hopefully a bit longer than like super high-end tubular tires. So
yep.
And,
what gearing did you run? Oh, sorry, forgive me.
Yeah, I just wanted to have a quick mention about the pressure as well. I think I ran like 85 psi, so maybe a bit on the lower side. But it's like a way smoother ride, and therefore I mean less risks of having maybe some punctures as well. And playing around with, I think it was Silka or some website had a calculator for a tire pressure, so I just played around with that and just thinking about what I might weigh on the day with my equipment and everything. So, and it came down to being like 88 was like close to ideal, and tried to have it as close as possible to there. But the thing is, you know, when the bike pump I had, like they had like a thing that goes from one side to the other, so you can't really see the small numbers. It just figure it's not digital, so it's like you figure out you're like maybe close to something where you should be.
Sure, right. I bet that helped with your bike handling too. Having lower pressure made the tires more planted and helped with vibrations and rough surfaces.
Yeah. And you can trust yourself in the corner a bit more.
It's huge. It makes a big difference. I run, but I run all the way down to like high 60s or low 70s on mine. But being a lighter rider, it would make sense.
Yeah, you weight a lot less. Yeah. Sure.
So let's talk about gearing and then saddle, basically. So what gearing did you run?
I had 5339 on the front, and which is like pretty standard, and 1128 cassette I think was in the back. Or was cool. No, it was like 1125 because I thought like you don't really need that high number of gears in the back on a flat time trial. And I'm like given the fact that I think I ride a pretty high cadence on a time trial, I don't really need like a really big ring in front. So the regular one would like suffice enough, I would say. And given the fact that Jan Frodeno rides 52 in the front, I mean, why would I need 53, right? yeah,
exactly. If Jan doesn't need it, chances are I don't need it. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, good point. What was the saddle that you used? What did you end up using?
I have a really good saddle, which is the Gebiameist, I'm not sure if I pronounce it right, Gebiameist Stride.
Okay.
Which is like a TT saddle with a little bit of a narrower front end. but the one you can still ride on, because sometimes you like in triathlon, sometimes you just want to ride the nose, so to speak, to have a little bit of relief on some of your hip bone points or something like that. I used to ride an ISM PN before that, but that didn't really work well with my the backside of my legs. Sometimes they used to the dizzying feeling where you like feel the muscle is like kind of dead. Yeah. And it like was a wake up call that I don't want to feel that in a race.
Sure.
So I just looked around for a little bit more on the saddle sides and settled on the KVMIs. So. Awesome. And on the bike fit, I tried some like really high-end TT saddles as well, made out of carbon. And there the only thought was that I can last 10 minutes on that thing.
Uncomfortable, but you can get it over with.
Or you need to eat like way more bread.
Yeah. to add your own chamois, so to speak, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Did you do anything else unique to your bike or your equipment on race day?
Not really. Actually, I don't know if it's unique, but I skipped. I removed all the bar tape and put stickers that you stick on top of the skateboard.
Oh yeah, grip tape. Yep.
Grip tape, yeah, basically, and put that on the links and some a bit on the aero bar ends. And I figured if it's like wet or your hands are sweaty, then you can just rely on your hand on the link on the DT bar. And it like has a better grip than a regular bar tape. So
yeah, smart.
I don't know if that's unique, but it's like something I figured out that it's like way more comfortable to ride it like that.
Cool. And then I have to ask you, what cadence did you maintain roughly? Do you remember for the race? Yeah, you mentioned that it was higher than, I think you ride higher than average.
I think I used to ride way slower than average. I was like a really huge grinder, but then luckily Chad's voice on the drills part made me realize that higher is better. And I think the average was like 97 or 98, but that also included, I think, the coasting a bit. Because the coasting should be zeroed out, but then going into the turn you pedal with like 29 cadence or something like that, just to keep your legs moving. So I think on the flat parts or where I could really push the power, I tried to hold it over 100. Yeah. Somewhere between 100 and 105. So.
Nice. Awesome. Super cool. I appreciate this so much, Egert. This is a cool deep dive into the very nerdy world of time trialing, and I hope
definitely nerdy.
Yeah, hey, that's okay. That's what we all are. So I hope that it's been insightful for people, and I'm sure that you have questions leading up to time trials. This podcast being recorded at the end of 2020, time trials may end up being a format that we all do a whole lot more of for the next year. We'll see, just with the current state of the world. So this is a super interesting podcast, has me excited to do triathlons, and I just really appreciate you being willing to share your story. If people want to get in touch with you, is Instagram the best, the forum? How would you recommend?
I am on forum. I am also on Instagram. My handle is EGERTPR. You can I can maybe post it on the forum if necessary.
Sure.
And other than that, no other social media really.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks so much, Egert. If you want to be on this podcast and you're listening to this, you can go to trainerroad.com/podcast/SAP. And that will take you right there. trainerroad.com/SAP. That's the way to do it. And that'll take you right to the podcast, and you'll be all set and ready. You can submit your story there. Tell us how TrainerRoad has helped you make you a successful athlete in any way that you deem success. So that would be awesome. And for everybody else that's listening to this, if you want to get fast like Egert in this case, give TrainerRoad a shot, and it'll make it happen. So thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks. Bye.